I'm Will Noonan, and you're listening to Tom Clark's Main Event.
This is Daddy Show. Step off.
Hey, what is up? Welcome to the program. Thank you for tuning in. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Tom Clark, and you are listening to Tom Clark's Main Event. This is episode number 24 of the podcast, and if this is your very first time joining us here on the Main Event, we bid you welcome. Thank you for coming aboard, and if this is a return visit for you, hey, thanks for coming back, man. We appreciate it. And to everyone listening, we'll extend, as always, the customary laurel and a hearty handshake. Thank you for your support. Thank you for listening. Thank you for reading my stuff. I appreciate it. For those of you who maybe are not familiar with my work, you can find me on Bleacher Report. I am a WWE feature columnist. I also contribute to the very highly esteemed Camel Clutch blog. And I happen to run my own little blog, which is tomclarkbr.wix.com/blog. And no, I've not bought the domain name. Stop giving me a hard time. I'm doing what I can here, man. If you want to contribute, I'm going to set up a PayPal account. You can click the donate button. I'm only kidding, okay? Just a little joke there. I don't need your money. I got money, okay? I got money, all right? I don't have a lot, but I mean, I have some. Okay, enough of the hilarity. This is an interesting podcast. Number one, It begins like a couple of the others I've done here have in the past. This one begins in the lovely and spacious Boink Studios, and then it continues on the road. That's right, folks. This is a studio/mobile podcast. I think this is the fourth one I've done, something like that. Sometimes I've just got stuff in my mind. I gots to get it out. Do you understand what I'm saying here, folks? I am a writer. The brain is just clicking all the time. Doesn't mean anything good is coming out of it, okay? I'm just saying it. The wheels are always spinning, okay? The hamster's dead, but the wheels are turning, all right? And there's been some stuff come about in the past 24 hours or so, depending upon when you listen to this particular podcast. The date this thing is being recorded is July 16, 2015, the year of our Lord. And it's been an interesting day or so. The dirt sheets are ablaze with news, and we're going to get into that as the podcast progresses here. Fair warning, though, this possibly will be an abbreviated episode, as any of you who have listened before can attest to. My podcast episodes usually last about an hour or so, give or take. This one, we're looking at maybe half of that, maybe 45 minutes, somewhere along in there. Again, folks, I do what I can. You know what I mean? I'm happy to be here for number 24. And I'm going to promote the devil out of this sucker when this thing's over, because I got another new location for you to find the shows and all that good stuff. So hopefully you'll continue clicking and subscribing and downloading. Your support, again, is always appreciated, folks. So before I waste any more of your time or mine telling you about how awesome this show is, and all that good stuff, let's go ahead and get to it. The main event this time around, are you ready for this one? This is a working title. The Deadman, the Beast, and the Stinger. Oh my. I'm working on that one. I don't know if I'm happy with it or not. But you get the idea. You know who those nicknames are. Don't even play, man. Don't even play right now, okay? Of course, I'm referring to The Undertaker, Brock Lesnar. I defy you to say the name Brock Lesnar without pronouncing it like Paul Heyman. Try it. Go ahead, I'll wait. You can't do it, right? It's impossible. You want to say it like Heyman does. I know. And of course, the icon Sting. And again, a lot of buzz going on online right now. The dirt sheets are filled with rumors and innuendo and gossip, and supposedly it's been proven. It's been backed up. There's sources, Meltzer's on top of it, and all that good stuff. I'm not going to plug his website. If you want to go read his stuff, whatever. But it's crazy out there right now. It's everywhere, and it all involves SummerSlam, which is coming up fairly soon. And we can't even get to Battleground. Isn't that something? Battleground's like 3 days away. We can't even get to it, man. This is the news of this broke already. Mostly because the rumors are that certain legends are going to, or perhaps will, show up on the Monday after Battleground, which will be Monday, July 20th, and perhaps the Monday after that, perhaps every show after that, until, you guessed it, SummerSlam. Now, take it with a grain of salt for whatever it's worth. I'm not going to get too much of it right here because, again, the bulk of this podcast came on the road, and you can hear the audio and decide for yourself whether or not you're on board with my opinions, whether or not you're with me. It's totally up to you, man. It's all good either way. But this is an interesting time because, for a couple of reasons. One, because WrestleMania season it's not even close to us yet. Okay, and usually the buzz of this nature does not begin until around the latter half of the year. I mean, going into summer, early fall, to me, is not the end yet. I mean, when I say latter half of the year, I'm talking October, November, December, is when things start cooking, things start heating up, especially after SummerSlam. Title picture becomes a little bit more clear. Things start to really take shape around December, January. The Royal Rumble happens, then WrestleMania season kicks into full gear. For a lot of people out there, myself included in the past, as I've stated before in columns that I've written in years prior to this, WrestleMania season really begins when Undertaker comes back. Here's the issue. It's July, right? We got a long time till Mania, dude. So are there plans on paper? Believe it. Are we privy to them? No way, no chance. We're going to guess and speculate here on Main Event because that's what we do. We analyze information that's out there and we spin it and tell you what we think about it. That's what I do as a writer. That's what I'm going to do in my podcast. So if you've never listened before, honestly, this episode is maybe not as much analysis, just a lot of talk. I've got a lot of feelings and thoughts on this one. And really, it's just sort of airing them out for you to hear and give a listen. And, as always, you can tell us what you think. At the end of this episode, as I do every time the Main Event is on the air, I will give you ways to contact yours truly. That way we can discuss, we can debate, we can do all the good stuff that goes along with being pro wrestling fans. And that means let's hash it out, man. Let's talk about it. Let's conversate, okay? So we're going to go ahead and get started here. And as we give you fair warning in the past, you're going to notice a little bit of a difference in sound quality. Hopefully it will still be good and still be pleasant to the eardrum. So fingers crossed on that one. We'll mix this sucker up as we always do. And hold on, folks, because we're going to get to the mobile podcast right now. Okay, so here we go, folks. This is another mobile podcast of the Main Event. And yes, this is episode number 24. And anytime the Main Event goes on the road, it's one of two reasons. One, because it's a special event. Or two, because yours truly does not have time or does not have access to the very spacious and very lovely Boink Studios, which is actually what's happening right now. But honestly, the truth of the matter is that there's a lot of buzz happening right now in and around WWE, and before any more time escapes me, I have to sort of get my opinions and get my views out there because, hey, we're just all squirrels, if you know what I'm saying. Maybe you don't know. But anyway, unless you've been living under a rock, you are very aware of what's happening. The rumors abound at this point that The Undertaker and Sting will be returning to WWE, presumably for a match at SummerSlam. Now, it's unclear at this point to anyone, myself included, who either guy will be working. There's rumors floating around right now that they will be working each other in the ultimate dream match to end all dream matches, the biggest one perhaps of all time. In this day and age, it doesn't get any bigger than Sting versus The Undertaker. This is
Honestly, this is the Ric Flair versus Hulk Hogan of our generation. Honestly. My generation, anyway. And that's how big it is, okay? But where that particular rivalry got screwed up, because it never happened under Vince McMahon's roof, this one could potentially happen. There's some issues with this. Number one, holy cow, Sting coming back and Undertaker coming back. Big deal for both guys, yes? And of course, we all know that part of it, if not all of it, of course, is the ratings right now in WWE are abysmal, is what I'm being told. And from what I understand. And here's the thing about me, if anyone is familiar with my work, and hopefully all of you are, I don't get too wrapped up in numbers. I might touch on them, occasionally, just to let you know what's sort of happening, what's going on with the company and all that. I just don't get too lost in them. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things where the ratings are what they are. And as an analyst, I still have a job to do. So whether, Monday Night Raw lost 100,000 viewers or gained 200,000 viewers, either way, I still have a job to do. Okay? Now, it might impact my writing in terms of, holy cow, it drew the biggest numbers that the company has seen in 6 months, or what have you. That'd really be the only impact, the only effect it would have on what my job is as an analyst and as a featured columnist. I mean, seriously. There's not much else that really it would affect my opinion or my analysis or, my take or how I view on it. You know what I mean? So, really, again, I just don't get too wrapped up in those things. But that is the thrust of the backbone of the rumors going around right now, is that the reason these two behemoths, these two giants of the business, are coming back to WWE this early in the game. By this early in the game, I mean not WrestleMania 32, is because of the ratings. Now, we'll say before I go any further here that there's no better time to come back. Whether the ratings are good or bad makes no difference in my opinion. SummerSlam's a great time to come back, because if you think about WWE's top pay-per-views, you're talking about the Royal Rumble, you're talking about Money in the Bank, SummerSlam, and WrestleMania. Okay? There's a couple of others here and there, but for me, those are my four. And to me, that's just how it is. And, 3, WrestleMania, Money in the Bank. Again, WrestleMania is granddaddy of them all. Money in the Bank is important, okay, because of the possible implications of the main event, or what should be the main event, of who pulls down the briefcase. SummerSlam's huge for obvious reasons. SummerSlam's always been considered a major pay-per-view for that company. And of course, the Royal Rumble, who determines who will face the world's champion at WrestleMania. So for me, yes, 4 is the magic number here, folks. Top 4 pay-per-views in that company. So why not bring Sting and or Undertaker back at WrestleMania, but SummerSlam? Why do it? Because why not? Now, why bring both of them back? Well, probably because your ratings are tanking. So, it's simple, right? Simple math. If you don't have enough star power to get the numbers, then you get more star power. Get it? That's exactly why Stone Cold Steve Austin is on the cover 2K16. And no disrespect intended to Austin. Austin put his time in, did a fantastic job representing that company, made a lot of money for himself and for them, and is still considered an icon of the industry today. Dude looks amazing. Looks like he could go in the ring for another 2 years. He can't. Probably can't go for another 2 matches. He's hung his boots up, okay? Anyone out there going nuts over it wants to see him face Lesnar at WrestleMania 32, keep dreaming. Honestly, it's not going to happen. Not in my opinion, okay? But him being on the cover of 2K16 is very telling. Very telling indeed. It's a statement of where that company is talent-wise. Seth Rollins or Brock Lesnar should have made the cover of 2K16. Brock Lesnar is internationally recognized. He's become a media crossover figure. He's a character. He's the real deal, okay? If anyone should have been on the cover, that's not full-time WWE should have been Brock Lesnar. Full-time WWE, we're talking Seth Rollins, hands down. Or Roman. Wouldn't that have been awesome? Can you imagine the hate? I love when people hate on Roman. I'm so fascinated by it. Let me just put it to you this way. I'm not his biggest supporter, but I'm not his biggest hater either. Okay? I think the guy has massive potential that honestly hasn't even been tapped into yet. I don't think we've fully seen what he can do with enough time, enough evolution, enough maturity, what he can actually accomplish. Honestly, I don't believe we have. I think we've just barely scraped the surface of it. That's just me talking, man. That's just me talking, all right? But I don't think we've even scratched the surface of it here, okay? But just imagine if they put him on the cover of 2K16, the uproar that would have caused among the WWE faithful. It would have been just overwhelming. You wouldn't be able to turn on a website or a program or read a dirt sheet without people losing their minds. And it would have been everywhere. If only for that reason, I would love to have seen it happen. That's just me. But again, it's a statement on where that company is in terms of what? Star power. They've got some guys. They've got top guys. Absolutely they do. Duh. But it's not what it was back in the day. And until that company can find a way to get these guys over more than what they are right now, they're going to continue to have this issue. You're going to continue to see Austin, or The Rock. You're going to continue to see Brock. You're going to continue to see guys whose primes are past. Don't tell Brock his prime is past. He'll put you in the Kimura and take you down. Don't want that. No one wants that. I don't want to get hurt. Honestly, I bruise easy. Remember that? So, again, Austin, cover 2K16, huge statement. Bringing both Taker and Sting back at SummerSlam, another massive statement by that company. And that statement is, man, we need to make some money. We're make it quick. We need ratings. Now. Yesterday. Make it happen. All right? What's wrong with that? Nothing. Unless you want to talk in terms of longevity. Okay? That company needs stars for the long term, for the long haul. Guys that are going to be there 5 years, 10 years from now. Guys whose primes are not past them. Guys who have had very few injuries, but whose window is short, just like a lot of other guys are, in terms of potential to make some serious money. But they have a lot of room to grow, a lot of room to learn, a lot of room to get better, and to perfect their craft. Rollins, Ziggler, okay, Ryback for that matter. Go ahead and laugh if you want to. It's cool. You think they don't believe in Ryback? They do now. They didn't before. They do now. The company has potential. Bray Wyatt, Roman. They have potential. Cesaro. Don't get me started. Much respect to Cesaro. He can steal the show anytime he's in the ring. No one cares about him at the end of the day because he has no charisma. A lot of guys fit that bill. Is it their fault? I believe it is to a certain extent. I also believe it's the booking's fault for not putting them in the right situations at the right times. I really believe that, man. But again, star power, they're in desperate need of great star power right now. Now, here are the issues, back to what I was saying. Here's the issues I have with Sting versus Undertaker. Number one, I don't have any. I love it. I want it all day. I want 3 matches. Okay, that's a bit excessive. I want at least 2. Fine, I'll settle for 1. I don't want it at SummerSlam. As pro wrestling fans, if you are a fan of the sport, I'm not talking about WWE. I'm not talking about TNA or ROH or Lucha Underground. I'm talking about if you're a fan of the sport of professional wrestling, then you want these guys to make as much money as possible. That's not going to happen at SummerSlam. Sting vs. Undertaker deserves a main event payday like none other. And that's the biggest day of the year. That's WrestleMania 32. That's when you have that happen. Now, can they bump into each other? SummerSlam? Cross paths? Absolutely. Why not? Can you imagine the electricity in that building when it happens? That's a big deal, yes. I mean, I get goosebumps just thinking about it. Trust me, they're everywhere. It's crazy. But that's what we're talking about here, folks. Sting versus Undertaker is such a monumental matchup. Again, perhaps the biggest dream match of my generation, and perhaps the generation now. Is there one bigger, I ask you? I submit there's not. Okay? Not to me. To me, it's still Sting and Taker. Now, if you want these guys to make as much bank as possible, you need WrestleMania 32. If you want it on the biggest stage of them all, the stage that will be remembered for a lifetime, that will go down in the echelon of greatest matches of all time, most historic matches of all time, that's got to be Mania. Has to be. It can't be SummerSlam. I love SummerSlam. It can't happen there. For anyone out there who's drooling over the prospects of Sting versus Taker at SummerSlam, stop. It can't happen. Does that mean it won't? Of course not. I didn't say that. Who said that? I didn't say that at all. It's WWE, man. They do what they want, right? They've done things in the past, book matches in the past, run storylines in the past that make you crazy, yes, that make no sense. It's the same thing, man. Could they do it? Absolutely. Is it a bad idea? Absolutely. They'd bring the house down, no doubt, 100%. Can't deny it. But you're also missing out. Number one, the company's missing out on the revenue. Think about WrestleMania. Dallas, Texas. Okay? AT&T Stadium. Cowboys Stadium. Whatever you want to call it. You want to get 100,000 people in that place, you book Sting versus Undertaker. Now, that may not be the only match that gets them in the door, but that goes a long way. Honestly, that's 50,000 of them are better right there. I mean, see, I'm just throwing it out there to you, man. You want to draw 100,000 people? You got to bring it. You got to bring your A game. Sting versus Undertaker is your A game. You don't bring that game to SummerSlam, and you sure don't do it in two matches, unless the match at WrestleMania it's a double retirement match. That's how you do that. It's what Jim Ross has suggested. It's what I've suggested in the past. It's the best way to go, in my opinion. Both guys hang up the boots after Mania, be done with it. Now, you don't run them at SummerSlam. Please God, don't run them at SummerSlam. Who could they work? Who would they work? You know, Sting vs. Triple H Part 2? I don't think so. Hunter beat Sting, yes. Pinned him 1, 2, 3. Had a lot of help. NWO, DX, all that nonsense out there. A lot of fans love that. Not me so much. I wanted a straight up match. I get why they did it. Sting's a bit slower. Hunter's a bit slower. They can still go. They had a good match. Okay? But if you want to eat the clock, but you want to fill the match out, number one, you have the guys work slow, take the time, which is what they did. Number two, you have outside interference that prolongs the match, allows Sting and Triple H to sort of slow down and breathe a little bit, allow the other guys to get involved, lengthens the match a bit. Okay? It's very important. I get why they did it. Doesn't mean I like it, but I get why they did it. Okay? The Sting and Taker can't do it. Sting's not going to work Hunter. Could Sting work Seth Rollins? It's entirely possible. You have to think about what name is big enough for Sting to work to begin with. Right now I got Rollins. I don't have anybody else. Sting's not going to come in as a heel. And guess what? Neither will Taker. All this stuff going around about Taker versus Brock at SummerSlam. It's a big deal. Part 2, yes. I'm hip with that. I really am. But what is the need to revisit this match? Brock pinned Taker clean. There was no outside interference. There was no pulling of the tights. There was no foreign object. There was no raking of the eyes or a nut shot to end the match. No. Taker put Brock over clean. That's a big deal, man. That's a big deal. Brock wins clean. Taker goes on the shelf. Holy God, right? Why would you bring him in against Brock? Brock is the biggest babyface in that company right now, bar none. Did you catch that? Say it again. Brock is the biggest babyface in that company, bar none. No one's any bigger. Until Taker steps through the curtain. Alright? I'll give you that. You got me there, man. So, having said that, how in the world do you put the top babyface in the company against the perennial favorite, the perennial babyface of all time? How are you going to work that one out? For that matter, how do you work Sting versus Undertaker? Really get into the dynamics of all this, folks. Slow down. Take out of the equation the fact that you're fanboying out like crazy at the prospects of Sting versus Taker. How are you even going to work that up? They're both major baby faces, man. The same applies and goes for Brock versus Taker. It's not the same Brock Lesnar that beat Undertaker WrestleMania 30. It's not. Again, this is the top babyface in the company, okay? So how are you going to work Taker into that scenario? One of those guys is going to have to turn heel. Not going to be Taker. But WWE is stoking the fires of the Undertaker's return. It has been for 2 weeks now. Because Paul Heyman keeps referring to, or has referred to Kane as Undertaker's baby brother. Love that line, by the way. Got a great reaction. And boy, didn't the crowd turn on Heyman and Brock when he mentioned the fact that Brock ended the streak. There's still some animosity there. That's how you would turn Brock heel. My question to you, as loyal listeners of the main event, and readers of my work in general, would it work? Would it be enough for you to despise Brock to the point that you would turn on him and consider him a heel, perhaps even the top heel, if they kept rubbing salt in the wounds when it came to Undertaker? Because they gloated about it for 2 months after the fact, it seemed like. Heyman came out, kept in. And you know what? That's what he's supposed to do. He's supposed to keep putting over the fact that Brock ended the streak. It's bragging rights from here to eternity, man. It is. Good for him. There should be bragging rights. I didn't agree with the decision. Never should have happened. Brock didn't need that. The issue now becomes, will it have been for nothing? All of it have been for nothing? Or was there a point? Was there a method to the madness? We're going to find out together, aren't we? Honestly. Because if Brock and Taker lay hands on each other again, then you'll know if all that was for nothing, if it was a mistake, if it was whatever. You'll know. We'll find out together. Straight up, man. Now, do you run Brock versus Taker? I don't. But who in the world are you going to put Taker against? Here's the issues you have. You can't just throw Sting and Taker on the card. I mean, you're going to sell some tickets. You might get some new subscribers to the network. Sell some more merch. But they need to be in matches that matter. Sting versus Taker matters. Not going to happen at SummerSlam. Sting versus, I don't know, Seth, maybe. Here's one for you. This is what I want to see personally. Sting versus Bray. Now, here's my issue with Sting versus Bray. Sting's going over. You best believe it. And my problem with that is not Sting going over, it's Bray putting him over. Because Bray has got to start winning matches. I was one of the guys, and still am to this day, that believes Bray could go his entire WWE career without ever having won the championship, or a championship for that matter, and he would still be just as vital, just as important, still as relevant as he ever has been, if not more so. I don't think he needs a championship belt. That's just me talking. What do you think? I don't think he needs it. His personality, his charisma, his character, it's not necessary for him to have a title belt. Not today, not tomorrow. Just my take, man. Straight up. Don't think he needs it. Okay? But he can't continue to lose big feuds. He cannot continue to lose big feuds. I mean, honestly. Taker beat him at Mania, right? If Sting beats Bray, do the math. Sting could beat Undertaker. That's how they could play that out. Doesn't it work all perfect and nice? It's cute, isn't it? I like it. I think it'd be just fine, man. But think of the possibilities that exist with Sting versus Taker. There's possibilities there for Taker versus Brock too. I don't want to say it shouldn't happen again, but I think they have to work it in the right way and really get some serious storytelling happening here, man. Don't just tell me it's the biggest match again, part 2. I don't want to hear that. You did that stuff to me with Rock versus Cena. Don't do that to me again, okay? Give me a reason to want to see this. Other than the fact that I like both guys. Give me a reason to be wrapped up in the drama. Sell me on the match. Do your job, man. That's all I want from you. I don't want anything special to over the top. Just sell the match to me. That's all I'm asking for, dude. That's all I want. But the possibilities are there for both matches. What's the possibilities for anything else besides Sting versus Bray? Who in the world does Undertaker take on? Seth Rollins, perhaps. I say Seth because Seth's earned it. Straight up. Who else has earned it besides Seth? No one. That's your answer, man. No one's earned it besides Seth. Honestly. Who else? Who you got? Dolph? Dolph can't be put in a position to face Undertaker. Dolph's going to lose. Seth may lose as well. Let's just be straight about it. But Seth is the top heel. Seth is top championship holder in that company. He's the top guy for all intents and purposes. He's not. It's Cena. By the way, where does John Cena factor in all these rumors? Or does he? Is John going to have a full dance card come SummerSlam? I mean, is he? Come SummerSlam, will John have full dance card and not have room for Taker or Brock? Do you even want to see Brock versus Cena again? I don't think I do. Straight up. Good matches. Don't know if I want to see it again. Seen enough, had him a feel, right? So, what kind of possibilities are left? Here's my point. You've been waiting 25 minutes for this point, haven't you? How long has it been? I'm not even keeping count. Aren't you just enjoying the time we have together? I sure am. But here's the point of all this. This is a win-win for fans that are still around. Guys like me. People like you, hopefully. That you're still around. You still love the business. You still want to watch WWE. Despite how ho-hum it could be at times. Despite how many times they buried Daniel on live television. But talking about how he's a B-plus player. I'm surprised he didn't broadcast that live from his bedside during surgery. Here we are at Daniel Bryan's bedside. And let's not forget, folks, he is a B-plus player. He's probably going to have a B-plus recovery as well. That kind of stuff makes you crazy. Don't lie. Makes me crazy. And I know the deal. It's supposed to make me crazy. I buy into it. I know what's going on. But it does legit make me crazy. Okay? We're talking about the same kind that's capable of that nonsense. Okay? But they're also capable of great things. They're also capable of great, huge moments. Moments that you'll never forget. Moments you'll be telling your kids about. Moments you'll be telling your grandkids about, man. Straight up. That's a big deal. It really is. Sting and Taker on the same card on the same night. What else could WWE possibly pull out to make this any better? What about The Rock? Can you imagine? All three guys on the card again at the same time. But unlike WrestleMania, they didn't cross paths. This time, you have to know Sting and Taker would perhaps have a stare down. Maybe at the end of Taker's match, you would see Sting up in the rafters just sitting there watching him. Wouldn't that be cool? Seriously, man. The prospects of Sting versus Taker are awesome because this is the company that you want this match to happen in. It never would have worked in WCW. They would have screwed it up. WCW screwed the pooch in a lot of ways. Let's be straight about it, man. But if this match is going to take place, it's got to happen in the WWE ring, for sure. No one else could hold it, honestly. No one else is going to hold it. They can make a killing off this, off the merchandise alone. Sting vs. Undertaker t-shirts. Sweet black shirts with their images, like going face to face. Can you imagine? That's good stuff, man. A tombstone with Sting's face paint on it. There's so many possibilities there to make some cash. And more importantly, bring the fans back. Why is that more important? Because more fans equals more cash. It all goes back to money. I've been called superficial. I've been called no respect. Been told I have no respect. I'm not working on that, man. The comment was made to me. Here's the thing. I don't really care because, sorry, I do care. I love you guys. You're my people. Most of you. Not you over there. I see you. Stop making faces at me. But there's just so much here to work with. There's so much here to work with, okay? If it's done the right way. If it's done the right way. Has to be. Sting versus Taker. Has to happen in the WWE ring. They're the only company on the planet that could hold it. And do right by it. Do justice to both guys. You can have a clear-cut win in this match and still make both guys look good. It's entirely possible. It is. Okay? The question of when it's going to happen, I vote no on SummerSlam. I'd love to see both guys on the same card again. Okay? But I don't want to see them face each other at SummerSlam. I want that at WrestleMania 32. Okay? That's the show I want to see that on. Don't you? I mean, I'm excited for it to happen too, but that event's got to be outdoors. It's got to be at night. Of course, it's West Coast again with Dallas, so you're going to have that time difference. You're going to have, Sting versus Taker in broad daylight. Ugh. Okay, now I'm more to think about it. No, I'm playing. I'm not going to go back on what I initially said. I still think you save that match for Mania, make the most money off of it you possibly can, not only for both guys involved, but for the company as well. What a day. What a couple of days it's been to be a WWE fan. Again, Sting, The Undertaker. Massive, massive news. Now, as with anything else that you hear or read on a dirt sheet, be very careful here, folks. We're all excited at the thoughts of Sting returning. We're all excited at the thoughts of Undertaker coming back. And those two guys facing off each other creates goosebumps to the nth degree. Straight up. But remember, these are dirt sheets. They have been wrong before. Are they wrong this time? Not saying that. Not suggesting it, actually. Just throwing another point of view out there for you to chew on and think about. Straight up, think about it, man. Okay? But if the rumors are true and this is actually going to happen, it's going to be a massive day in WWE. And when these two guys finally lace up the boots to face each other in the ring, it's going to be even bigger. I'm looking forward to it. Honestly, I am. And I think that the match itself is going to look good. It's going to be well wrestled. I think it's going to be fantastic from start to finish in terms of the impact, the legacy that both guys bring to the ring. I think it's going to be great. I don't think it's going to be great at SummerSlam. I think you're talking about WrestleMania. That's just me, man. I mean, we're throwing our best guesses out there. That's all we can do. Okay? I'll be writing about this topic in the next coming days and weeks, I'm sure, as will a lot of other guys, because this is a big deal. This is the kind of news that analysts and writers like myself wait on, because this provides so much material. No chance to get burned out anytime soon. Trust me on that. WrestleMania season is exciting enough as it is, in terms of material you have to work with, different story angles and things you can write about, and just different points of view, and just opinions you want to get out there for the whole world to see. Throw in Sting versus Undertaker, and holy God, watch the page count increase exponentially. It's good stuff, man.
And there you have it, folks. That was the podcast this time around. I did warn you at the beginning of the program that this one wasn't so much a lot of analysis as it was just me sort of getting my thoughts out there. How you feeling about this right now? I would love to get some feedback from you. I'd love to know what you think, because honestly, as a fan, I love it. I couldn't be happier. I mean, how can you be unhappy at the thoughts of Brock Lesnar, The Undertaker, and Sting all on the same program? I mean, and it's not even WrestleMania. I mean, really. I mean, that's a big deal. I can't tell you what a big deal. If you don't know that's a big deal, you're not a wrestling fan. I don't know why you're listening. Because you saw the picture and you think I'm cool. That's so sweet of you. I love that. And just so you know, yes, I am very cool. Okay? In case you're wondering, totally. But no, maybe, who knows? I don't even know. But no, it's a big deal. It's a very big deal. And the idea of the Stinger and of the Deadman making their returns, and thank God, by the way, if all this is true, and I hope it is actually, but if all this is true, thank God Sting is coming back, because I hate to think that his one and only WrestleMania shot, if it was his one and only WrestleMania shot, had to end the way it ended. Sting should have went over. Now, was Sting okay with it? Yeah, I'm sure Sting was okay with it. He got his payday, and that's not to sound callous or shallow here. In no way, shape, or form. If these guys deserve to get paid, absolutely. Sting deserved to get paid, and I hope he got top dollar. I really do. I don't know what the figures are. Told you before, I'm not a numbers guy. I'm not a numbers guy either when it comes to salary or payoffs. Not my business, so it's whatever. But I hope he got top dollar. He deserved it. But was it all about money for him? Of course not. He wanted the match to be good. He wanted it to be logical. He wanted everything to make sense and to sort of tie up any loose ends that may have been there for him in his career in terms of, hey, I've never worked for Vince McMahon. This is my one and only chance. Let's see what we can do here. Okay. So was he happy with the way it ended? I'd love to ask him. Have no idea. I've not heard any grumblings or anything unhappy coming from Sting's side of the fence since Mania. The guy keeps pretty quiet, which I respect. I love the fact that you can't just go click and find interviews with the guy just all over the place. They're out there, of course, but nothing like what you would see from WWE's top guys. I mean, and totally fine if they give interviews. I'm not suggesting they shouldn't. But I love the fact that guys like Sting and Undertaker are a little bit harder to find. Bray Wyatt, a little bit harder to find. Because, it's the mystique of their characters. We did discuss all three of the guys in this particular episode. And again, I'm just really glad that if this all comes to pass, that Mania was not Sting's last run in the company, first and only time in the company. That would have been a real shame. I'm glad that that's not the case, man. I'm glad to see that hopefully this is going to come to fruition with him getting back into the WWE ring and actively competing. And I want to see WrestleMania 32 that he goes over. I want to see him face Taker at WrestleMania 32 and for it to be a double retirement match, honestly. Would Sting go over Taker? No way. I think it would be. See what I just said? Isn't that crazy? I don't know how they would work that. I'm sure anything's possible. I know anything's possible, dude. But whether or not it would come to pass that way, who knows? But there's so much at stake here if all these rumors are true. There's so much that could happen here potentially. And again, as the fan in me, I'm happy, dude. I could not be happier at the idea of the Deadman, the Stinger, the Beast, all three of these guys being on the same program at the same time. That's big time stuff. I'm happy. I am. The analyst/writer in me, however, says, oh my God, what are they going to do with this? Please don't mess it up, okay? Because honestly, logistically speaking, it's a nightmare in my opinion, because who do you put over? Who do you have these guys work? Do they work each other? You shouldn't have that match till Mania, as I said several times here. I mean, is it something that's not achievable, something's not doable? Absolutely not. If you get the right guys in on the storylines and get everything rolling the way it needs to and work up something fast, dude, it's got to be fast. That's the problem here that I'm having. Everything's got to go fairly fast here if all this is true, okay? Because SummerSlam's coming up, dude, it's around the corner, really. So, who knows what's going to happen here, but there's so much potential, so many different things that could be worked up. And the question I have for you is, are you excited? Are you happy? Are you anxious? Are you ready for this? Are you dreading it? Do you not want to see Sting in the ring again? If anyone out there doesn't want to see Taker again, you've got to be out of your mind. Sting either, for that matter. They both look so good at WrestleMania 31, man. You've got to be out of your mind, legit crazy, to not want to see either one of these guys in the ring again, because they both brought it. They both look great physically. They look great, in great shape. They brought their A game. Both of them did. Taker's hair is going to be, shoulder length again by WrestleMania 32. I guarantee it. So, I mean, it's just that thing of, if the guys look good, if they're physically healthy, if everything's good with them, if they're feeling good and everything's all right, then why not work a match, okay? And honestly, I'm not saying don't give 110%. The reason I say that is because Sting and Undertaker are each going to give 110%. No matter who they're working, it doesn't make a difference, man. That's how these guys are. That's how these guys have been from day one. They don't take a day off. They don't take a match off. They never have, okay? So, they're going to give everything they have. But in my opinion, if you don't need to kill yourself, if you don't need to have a 5-star match, but you can have a really, really solid 3.5 to 4-star, why not do that? Save yourself. You know what I'm saying? A match at those guys' age, it really takes its toll, especially Sting. And to imagine that, that they could go through complete hell at SummerSlam and then be okay by WrestleMania. Anything's possible. I mean, if they're in good shape, their cardio's good, they're staying healthy, keeping themselves in shape, then they can work Mania just fine. But you don't want to risk any serious injury, of course. Got to be sure they take care of themselves and each other, and whoever they're working takes care of them as well. I see no reason why they both can't work matches at SummerSlam. But again, if it were me, I would book it in such a way where they did not have to, kill themselves in the ring. There's no need for it. No need. A lot of money invested there. You know what I mean? No need to go out there and risk injury on any level for any guy for that matter, honestly. No point in it, really. So, again, all of this has just happened. It's all very fresh, and there's still rumors churning about. As we speak, the dirt sheets are filling up with this stuff. I have yet to write anything on it, but I would say within the next 2 to 3 days, you're going to start seeing some stuff from yours truly, and maybe by the time you listen to this, you've already read 1 or 2 pieces, who knows. But what's your take on it? How you feeling about it? I really want some input this time, man, so really give it to me, okay? You know where to find me. You can follow me on Twitter at TomClarkBR. Drop me an email, TomClarkBR@yahoo.com, all right, and I'll answer. No worries there. You can find me also on the Pinterest. I can never get that stupid name right. There's not much happening there, so it's up to you. I'm also on Tumblr. And no, there's no creepy fanfic on my page. Relax. I do that page under an anonymous name. Kidding. So, I'm also on Facebook, and I always advise folks not to check out Facebook because I'm dull and boring. By the way, I'm still dull and boring, but now I've created my own Facebook page for the podcast. Yay, right? So just go to Facebook, look up Tom Clark's Main Event, and bam, you will see moi in black and white, because me and full color don't get along too well. You know what I'm saying? So please go to my Facebook page. Give me a like on there, because, I'm pretty sure you get a free cookie if you do, or I do, or something like that. I'm not really sure how Facebook works. But either way, it's fun. You don't have anything to do right now. So as you listen to me, breeze on over to Facebook and click that like button. Come on, you want to. And again, as always, folks, please continue to check me out. Bleacher Report, Calvin Clutch blog, and my own blog, tomcartbr.wix.com/blog. How's that for plugging yourself, man? I'm a shameless self-promoter, baby. Don't ever forget it, okay? How you feeling right now? What are you thinking? Please let me know, because, man, I got a feeling this thing is just beginning. Can't wait to see what happens on the July 20th edition of Raw. Can't wait to see what happens at Battleground, for that matter. So, digest this. Think about it. Read about it. Read good stuff by good writers. There's a lot of garbage out there, so buyer beware. Reader beware, honestly. Read my stuff, if you will. I appreciate it. As always, your support. And you know what? Let's have fun with this, man. Don't stress it too awful much. Hopefully I haven't stressed you out too much in this podcast here. Who knows? But let's keep this thing light. We're all fans, right? Let's just have fun and just enjoy it, all right? If you're out and about today, and if it's a weekend, if you got a local wrestling show in town, get out there, man. Take your kid, dude. Have fun. Enjoy your local indie promotion. Give these guys your support. And, be sure it's a good show. You don't want to waste your money, right? But get out there and make it happen, man. Just remember that the indie stars of today are the WWE World Heavyweight Champions tomorrow. Ask Seth Rollins if I'm right or not. So that's it for the main event, folks. Thanks for tuning in. Please check out all the links and all the pages I just plugged like crazy. And we will see you next time on Tom Clark's Main Event.